our channel. If you're new, my name's Megan. I put out Disney content every week with my daughter Juliet. If you're returning, welcome back. This video might seem a little different to you because Juliet isn't here with me today, and that's because I'm doing something a little different. I am applying for the Disney+ reviewer position. If you haven't heard about it, it's been all over social media. There's also been some videos on YouTube, and it is this fun position where you get, when Disney+ comes out on the 12th of this month, which I'm super excited about. We've already ordered our subscription, so our family is really looking forward to it. When it comes out, you get to review 30 Disney movies in 30 days, and you get paid $1,000 bucks. So kind of like a dream job for us Disney lovers. Anyway, for the application, what you need to do is you need to review your favorite Disney movie. So if you've watched this channel, I think you know what my favorite Disney movie is. And if you are new and you can see my ears and my background and my shirt, you can probably tell my absolute favorite Disney movie and one of my favorite movies of all time is The Nightmare Before Christmas. So today I will be reviewing Nightmare Before Christmas and sharing a few of the reasons why this movie is so special to me, so dear to my heart, and the things that I think make it stand out from all the other Disney movies out there. So let's get started. One of the first things I love so much about this movie is that it is stop motion animation. You don't see that technique as often anymore, not in Disney movies and not in a lot of mainstream movies in general. It's more CGI and computer generated, and this has just got that old school animation grittiness to it that I love so much, and I think if it was made in any other type of format, it would not have that, like I said, that grittiness to it, which is what I love about Nightmare Before Christmas. And speaking of the aesthetic and the way that it looks, I love the color contrast in this movie. When you first enter this movie and this is Halloween is being sung and you're being introduced to Halloween Town and all the obscure characters that make up this crazy town and Jack, it's very dark and very kind of gloomy, and there's not a lot of vibrant colors. It's dull in a way, but in a good way. I don't mean dull as a negative word at all. Just to kind of get you into that world that we don't experience on our Halloween. We go trick-or-treating with our kids, or if you're an adult, you go to parties with your friends, and that's not the Halloween that we live in, so I love seeing it in the movie. And then you get a complete contrast when Jack goes to Christmas Town. You were in this dark world before, and now it's like, what's this? What's this? It's vibrant colors, gorgeous reds and greens and blues, and that Christmas vibe, and everyone is singing and happy. It's a totally different world, and Jack goes into a bit of shock when he sees this world. And it's such a great contrast between the two. It makes you really feel the different emotions in each town. When you're back in Halloween Town, where it's more of the dull colors, not so loud, not so bright, vibrant, you then at one point do see Santa go into Oogie's cave, and it's vibrant again. That's like the only place really in Halloween Town where you see those colors again, where Oogie is that bright, bright green, and the colors of Santa's coat even get even more of a vibrant red, where when you see him in Halloween Town and he's captured, he's more of a dull red. So I love that contrast of the colors in Halloween Town itself as well. As I said about the obscure characters, that's another one of my favorite things about this movie, is the weird characters that I don't think I could even dream up, that aren't like main characters, but for some reason they are ingrained, like you remember them just like you do Jack and Sally, like the 4 vampires. I think the brothers, I think you barely see them in very many scenes, but for me they stand out to me like crazy. And like the duck, I'm obsessed with the duck. I don't know why, he's not in very many scenes at all, but I think he's great. And the bunny rabbit, like you see that just a couple times, but for some reason that character stands out to me. All those little obscure characters that have these weird quirks that maybe say a line or maybe say nothing definitely stand out. Like, and Teddy Vampire, he stands out to me. Jewel at the end, she's in it for just a few minutes, but I love that Dr. Finkelstein created her because Sally basically will have nothing to do with him, so he created this woman that looks pretty much just like him. I think when my daughter first saw it, she goes, "Is that Dr. Finkelstein's mom?" Because you kind of get that vibe. And Dr. Finkelstein is definitely one of my favorite characters. You do see him more, but he's just this crazy old guy that is just trying to make some woman to love him and is having the most difficult time. And he's just, I love him. I love him when he opens his brain and he just sticks it into Jules' head. And the characters are what makes this movie for me. And all of them, not just Jack and Sally, all of those obscure, weird characters that you just kind of fall in love with. And then of course, Jack and Sally. If you haven't watched the movie, I don't even think that you would know it's a love story between them, because their love story is very subtle. It's not like in your face, like more of a fairy tale type Disney movie where it's definitely all about the prince and princess. This movie isn't even really about the love story. It's more about Jack's journey, which I'll get into, but I do love the love story very much because, like I said, it's so subtle. And if you've watched it, Sally actually doesn't even have that many lines. She's a main character, but her screen time is not a ton. But what you get from her, you just fall in love with her. Like the way she kind of follows Jack, and then when she sends him that basket of goodies when he's up in his house, and then she just runs off. And I love how, and she's also telling him when he's going through this struggle of wanting to be Santa Claus, she's like, "This is not you. Like, I know you. Like, don't do this. It's a bad idea." And he's like, "Da da 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 da." And then at the end, when they just meet on the hill, and it is simply meant to be, like, it's just, you almost have no idea beforehand that they're gonna end up together, but they do, and in the most subtle way, and the most sweetest kiss, and then it's just over. And I think it's my favorite love story of all the Disney movies, because it is so subtle, and the undertones of it. And Jack and Sally, I don't think, are seen as Disney prince and princesses, but Jack is totally a Disney king to me, and Sally is definitely his queen, and I just love their love story. And I would say the final thing that I love so much about this movie that I want to talk about is Jack's journey. Jack Skellington is this movie. While I love all the characters, I think we follow Jack's story the most, so we get the most from him and his journey, and I love his journey. He's almost having like a Disney midlife crisis, if you will. You know, he's waking up and he's doing the same thing every day with Halloween, and he's bored and he wants change, and he stumbles into Christmas Town, and he's just like, "What is all this?" And he's just kind of like in shock, in just overload of what's happening, all the emotions and all the things that he's feeling. And it's like he's born again in a way, and just decides to take over Christmas Town and fails miserably as Santa Claus. But he needed to go through that journey, and he needed to fail so that he could appreciate his town of misfits. This is where he belongs. He is the king of this town. He's the king of Halloween, and he needed to have some crazy adventures to appreciate everything that he has. And I love at the end how it kind of just comes together, where he falls in love with Sally, he's on the hill, he's in Halloween Town, and super excited to be back in his land of pumpkins and Halloween and misfits. So that's just a little bit of why I love this movie. I hope my love for this movie came across, because it does mean everything to me. I kind of feel like Tim Burton went inside my heart and found all the things that I love about Halloween and made it into this movie, because Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday, and there is no better movie, I think, to describe Halloween, and I love it so much. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!